Hello, hello. What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Can you hear me?
Hello, everybody.
We're good. Audio. Can hear us and see us. Let us know. Hello, hello. Welcome to another practice, everyone. Who do we have up in here in the chat?
We got Linda, Wang.
Oh, Wang Choco, the chocolate king from the right wing. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, brother. Hi, Linda. Who else?
That's so funny.
We got Lean. Oh, so Flavio and Monica. Hi, guys. Feel free to say hi in the live chat.
Hope you guys are all doing well. Can you guys hear and see us okay?
Not sure.
It's working on here, but not on there.
That's all right. Well, while we have, while we're waiting for people to file in, Darren's in the house, Chris in the house,
Hey everyone.
and Laurie.
Hey,
Hey
Darren.
guys. So we just have a few little announcements to
Emily.
make.
Hey Emily.
Oh, Emily's here. Sweet.
And Nat.
Oh, and Nat. And Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. Yeah, so we have a couple little announcements. So, as things continue to change and unfold day to day, we actually have a new little venue, a little studio space to film in.
Yeah.
So we wanted to give a big shout out and a big thank you to both Darren and Laurie for that. And I'm gonna pull something up here just to show you guys, just a little shameless plug for their Airbnb.
Their Airbnb is beautiful. So we actually filmed this class it's a barn that's located on the property of their Airbnb. So I'm just posting their Airbnb right now in case.
Yeah, so this was the before shot of the barn, of the nice old stone barn that has a lot of history to it. Oops. And this was the after, so they did a really wicked job on restoring this cute little barn, and they've opened it up to us to allow us to use it for filming our classes for you guys. So big thanks to them. Give them a big thumbs up in the chat. Oh, Bobby's here. Good to see you, Bobby. Yeah, so check out their page. Let me see if I can pull up some other.
I linked their Airbnbs in the chat. So this was a new space for us to film in. You might notice that there's a lot of external noise just with the cars coming by and stuff like that. So we're just working on figuring out some audio stuff. I'm looking at getting just a better microphone just to kind of cancel out the noise pollution and so you can hear our voices more clearly.
Yeah, we're kind of close to the road, so yeah, you can hear traffic, buses, and that sort of a thing. But yeah, really nice space for the Airbnb, and a beautiful space for our classes, for our studio.
So let us know what you guys think of the space when you see it in the class. Yeah.
You wanted to pull up your webpage?
Hey, Fran.
Oh, Bianca and Fran. Hello.
No,
Just Fran?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, tell Bianca we say hi as well. I hope you guys are doing well.
We also want to say just a to Doug for allowing us to use his camera.
Yes.
We filmed with a different camera this time, so again, just let us know how the quality is and stuff like that. And thanks to those who offered us spaces to film in. It's really generous of you, and thanks just for everyone who has supported us and supported the channel so far and who's donated.
Yeah, and thank you for, liking, sharing, subscribing. That goes a long way too in terms of creating a little bit more exposure for the channel and getting past some of those blasted YouTube algorithms. Yes. Big hearts.
And then
here, I'll pull up your webpage here.
Okay. And then I just wanted to show you guys just quickly. So this is my website. So you can also access the videos on here if you go under services.
We'll let it load up.
And then it will take you to see
it?
our, I don't know.
Thought I did.
There it is.
Yes, there we go. Okay.
So yeah, if you scroll down, on the left-hand side there, it says online classes, yoga classes and programs. So right now, the online yoga classes, you can see all the classes that we have available right now are up there. And then the online programs, there's nothing on there right now, but that's essentially where we're going to be posting our programs. And we're hoping to have,
I can get this mouse going. There we go. Online programs.
I think we're going to start with...
Oh wait, no, online yoga. That's what we wanted.
I think we're going to start with an inversion program.
Yeah, we had a lot of requests for that. There it is.
Yeah.
So here's for the online yoga link. All of our previous classes and previous videos that have been uploaded to the channel will appear here as well. And in terms of our specialized programming or like more specific kind of programming, that will come up under the online programs link.
If you go up. And if you go up, it's just like right under there too, under the donate button.
Oh.
You went too far.
Oh,
there we go.
There it is. Okay. My mouse is sensitive.
Yeah, so we're going to start with inversions, but again, if there's anything that anyone else would like to see, just let us know, leave us a comment, send us a message.
Yep.
The playlist for tonight's class has been listed already. I will send it one more time, just in case. There we go. And then for this class, so trying to keep with our time management, it didn't really work. So this class is an hour and 20 minutes. And you will need a block for this one. If you don't have a block, just any kind of prop. Essentially, we're going to be doing revolved pyramid and half moon, just some balancing poses. So it's more so for that. And a water bottle, a book will even do. Just, yeah, if you just make sure you have something beside you before we start.
Yeah. Okay. So without further ado, we'll start in our Savasana. So you guys can get comfy, and we will start our class. So let me kill this reggae tunes, these beats. And yeah, we'll get started. Hope you enjoy the practice.
And we'll see you guys after class.
You got it.
Hi yogis, welcome to your practice. I'm Krista and this is Chad.
Hope you guys are doing all right. Welcome back to another practice.
And I will be guiding you through your practice today. For today's practice, you will need a block. If you don't have a block at home, feel free to use a water bottle or a book. It will serve the same purpose. We are going to be exploring revolved pyramid as well as half moon. So if you know in your practice you tend to need a block for those poses, you can get yourself any kind of prop that would make do for those poses. So for today's practice, we will get started on our back, and you can get into any comfortable position that feels good for you today. Start to really connect into the body, into our mind, and into our breath. And just take notice of how your body and your breath are feeling today. And I want you to meet yourself there. I want you to meet yourself wherever your strengths and your weaknesses are within your body and within your mind. And just be okay with the fact that your practice is going to look different day to day. And we use our practice to come back to our breath, come back to our body, and to really come back to that present moment. And from here, we'll start to connect to our breath. And just notice how the breath moves in and out of you. Begin to lengthen every inhale and every exhale. As you breathe in, feel the belly rise, feel the lungs expand. And as you exhale, feel the lungs empty out completely. And we'll stay here for 5 more cycles of breath. And once you finish your last round of breath, just come back to your regular breathing. Breathing in and out through the nose. And we'll start to wake up the body very slowly, very mindfully. We'll begin by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Maybe taking a cleansing breath in through the nose, fill up. And then exhale, part your lips and let it go. Begin to draw both knees in towards the chest. Just wrap your arms around your shins or to the backs of the thighs. Just whatever feels good for you today. You can stay here in stillness or start to sway back and forth, bringing a little self-massage in through the low back. Take as much time as you need here. And then when you're ready, place the soles of the feet down onto the mat so your knees point up towards the ceiling. Begin to kick the sole of the right foot up towards the sky. Yeah, really flexing the toes down towards your face here. And I want you to pay attention to your right quadricep. Yeah, I really want you to engage that quadricep, and that will help stabilize as you extend and you lengthen the back of that leg. And from here, you can start to point and flex through the toes. And notice as you point the toes up towards the ceiling, it builds a stretch through the front of the leg. And as you flex the toes down towards your face, you feel a deeper stretch into the back of the leg. Yeah, we'll just stay here for a few more like that. And start to take little ankle rotations, like you want to paint a picture on the ceiling with your toes. Yeah, so moving in one direction, and then moving in the opposite direction. Just taking notice of how that feels in through the leg. Notice, can you stand to engage that quadricep? Start to hug your right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers on top of the right shin. Really hug that knee in towards the chest. And if you're a little bit more open here, maybe that knee starts to track towards the right shoulder. Yeah, and then from here, that left leg can stay pointed, the knee can stay pointed up towards the ceiling, or you can extend that leg long on your mat. From here, grab a hold of that right shin with the left hand, rolling onto that left hip, pull that knee across the body, and make sure that right shoulder stays rooted down. And you can play with any arm placement that feels good for you in this position. On your next exhale, slowly begin to release out of this pose. And then place both soles of the feet down onto your mat. And we'll do this on the other side. Begin to kick up through the sole of the left foot. Yeah, and it's okay if you have a slight bend into the knee as we start to wake up the legs a little bit here. If you notice that there's a bend into the knee, maybe you ease out of that stretch a little bit. So you pull your leg away from the body. And then from here, again, paying attention to that left quadricep, really try to engage, squeeze those muscles. And then start to point and flex through the foot, noticing where the stretch travels. And then start to, again, paint a picture on top of the ceiling with your toes, rotating the foot in one direction and then the other. And begin to hug the left knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers on top of the left shin. And again, finding a placement that feels good for you today. Either drawing that knee in towards the chest or maybe opening it off to point towards the left shoulder. That right leg can extend long on your mat, but it's going to build a deeper stretch into the front of that right hip crease. So just be mindful of the stretch that you start to create here. And then from here, grabbing a hold of that left shin, start to pull your left leg across the body, rolling onto that right hip. Coming into a little bit of a twist here. And that left arm, again, you can find a comfortable position, either extending it out in line with the shoulder or finding your cactus arms. And on your next exhale, slowly begin to come back to center. This time, hugging both knees in towards the chest. Yeah, give yourself one last hug. One last self-massage across the low back, across the sacrum. Now place your hands to the backs of the thighs. We're going to start to rock and roll up and down our mat, bringing a massage on the long side of our mat, along our spine. So as you lift the feet overhead, you start to engage the low belly to lift the legs. And then as you shift forward, you're going to try and use your abdomen to come all the way up to a seated position. So we're not looking to use momentum here, but more so the control of the core. So again, curl the spine down, hollowing out through the belly, drawing the knees in, and then pointing the toes up and behind the head, using the low abdomen to lift the hips. And then rock forward, roll the pelvis down, rock yourself up to a seated position. And we'll do that a few more times. And we're going to come to meet in a seated position, cross-legged at the top of our mat. Now in the seated position, we're going to be here for a little while. So if sitting like this is a little bit uncomfortable for you, you can always bring a pillow or a block to come underneath the sits bones. And sitting up nice and tall, just allowing the shoulders to stack over the hips, ears over the shoulders. And as you breathe in, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, hands down through heart center. Begin to open up the arms in line with the shoulders, coming into a T shape here. Now the palms will face forward, and the thumbs will be pointed up towards the sky. We're going to find some axial rotations. So begin to internally rotate the arms, rotating thumb down, and the palm will face behind you. Yeah, and then we'll start to find our external rotation. Again, thinking of rotating from that upper arm bone. And your arms will end up, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And we'll keep moving like that a few more times. And we'll do one more. And the next time your palms face forward, bring a bend into the elbows. Bring your palms to the back of the head. We're going to work through a little bit of a swimmer's motion here. So from here, extend the arms, palms face forward. Begin to flip the palms to face to the back of the room. And then bend the elbows, placing the tops of the hands behind the low back. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together here. And then start to extend the arms. Palms face forward. And then bend the elbows, bringing your hands behind your head. Again, same thing here. Try not to be relaxed into the shoulders, but think of squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening up across the chest. Yeah, we'll move through one more just like that. And the next time your hands come behind the head, start to reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, hands down through heart center. Bring your hands a little bit behind you, just beside your hips. Now you're going to want to remove the pillow or the block for this next part. From here, bring your knees to point up towards the ceiling and bring your feet about mat width apart. And then kick your toes off to the long edge of your mat, coming into your bear position. So your legs are kind of in this 90-degree angle. You want to think of actively pulling the knees down towards the floor. And you can adjust your upper body as much as you need, whatever feels comfortable for the hips. If you need to ease out of the stretch a little bit, just start to lean back into the hands. And from here, we're going to find a cat-cow motion. So you can bring the hands to the backs of the thighs, or on tops of the shins, or if you can reach down for your ankles. Keep actively trying to pull the knees down to the ground. And as you inhale, start to rock the pelvis forward, lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Exhale, begin to round the spine, tuck your chin in towards your chest. Try not to lose that opening across the legs. Keep actively pulling the knees apart. Inhale, rock the pelvis forward, lift. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale. Broaden through the collarbone, increase the stretch into the inner thighs here. Exhale, round the spine. Now just come back up to a neutral position. Bring your hands behind you, just beside your hips, or as wide as your hips. And again, same thing here. You can lean back as much as you need. We're going to find some windshield wiper motions, just lowering the knees to one side and then the other. Yeah, and just notice the next time your knees lower to the right side of your mat, we're going to press into both shins. Begin to engage the glutes to lift your hips off of your mat. And then extend the left fingertips up towards the ceiling or towards the back of the room. Finding a little side body stretch. Begin to sweep the arm across the chest. Square your chest to the top of the mat and then switch sides. This time lowering your knees down to the left. Press into both shins. Inhale, lift the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, reach back. Exhale, lower the hips down. We'll move to the other side. Keep moving with your breath here. Inhale, your pelvis will lift. Exhale, it will take you back to the other side. Last one. Begin to square your chest to the top of your mat. Draw the soles of the feet together here just for a moment. With your peace fingers, grab a hold of your big toes. Now begin to walk your feet back. Finding your balance point on your sits bones, can you lift your feet off of your mat? Yeah, and then from here, start to extend the feet outwards to the about mat width apart or so, keeping your knees bent to start. Now really think of sitting up with a nice tall spine here. And then see if you can start to straighten the legs. If you notice as you straighten the legs, the spine starts to round, maybe keep a bend into the knees. Also, if you notice that you start to round the spine and then you lose your balance and you start to roll back, that's also an indication that you need to keep your knees bent. And then you really focus on the lower abdomen, pulling your belly button up and in to find that connection, as well as maintaining that balance on your sits bones. From here, cross the ankles. Roll over the shins, coming into your tabletop position. Now in your tabletop, make sure your hips are stacked over your knees, shoulders are stacked over the wrists. And we're going to play with a little bit of balance here. So start to shift your weight into the right hand and the right knee. And begin to lift the left knee and shin off of your mat. Just about an inch or two off of your mat. Now with your left hand, start to tent the palm, coming light onto the fingertips. Now see if you can start to hover your hand off of your mat. And then lower hand and knee down. We'll switch sides. Start to shift your weight into the left hand, left knee. Start to pick up that right knee and shin off of your mat. Come light onto the right fingertips. And then see if you can lift that right hand to hover. And just take notice, paying attention to that left hand, seeing how your hand starts to grip into the mat to keep yourself lifted, lower down. And we'll move that on to the next side, coming on to shift our weight to the right hand, right knee. This time lifting the left hand, left shin. Maybe you start to open up to the long edge of your mat. Yeah, come as far as you can and then come back down to center. Coming back into our tabletop. Then moving over to the other side, lift the right hand, right leg, opening up to the right side of our mat. Begin to lower down. This time, inhale, begin to lift left hand, left knee. Maybe you start to take a bend into the left arm, finding your cactus arm. See how far you can open up. Exhale, lower down. Move with your breath here. Inhale, right side. Exhale, lower down. Now, if you want a little bit of an added challenge to this, lift your knees about an inch or two off of your mat to hover. And again, you can play with the same movement, starting with the left side, we lift. And then exhale to come back to your table. Inhale to lift right side. Nice work. And we'll meet back in our tabletop position here. Untuck the toes and then sit your hips back, finding a child's pose. Rest your chest onto the thighs. Reaching your arms forward. Inhale, begin to shift your weight forward. Come into a modified plank. So your shoulders are stacked over the wrists, but your hips are slightly forward than the knees. A nice long spine here, a nice straight line. As you exhale, begin to bend the elbows, lead with the chest, lower all the way onto the belly. Just starting with our baby cobra. Start to press the tops of the feet into the mat, engage the legs, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, roll the shoulders as you peel the chest off of your mat. Exhale, lower down. Begin to push yourself back, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, send the hips back for your first downward facing dog. Now in your first downward facing dog, maybe you keep a slight bend into the knees. And think of resting the belly on the thighs, pulling your chest down towards the thighs. And then from there, you can start to straighten the legs, keeping that connection belly to thigh. Yeah, and just take any intuitive movements that feel good for you today. Just pedaling up the feet, shaking up the legs. And begin to walk your feet up to meet your hands. Coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Yeah, just allow the head to hang heavy here. You can keep a slight bend into the knees if it feels more comfortable for the backs of the legs. Just play with shifting your weight maybe into the toes. Noticing how that changes the stretch in the backs of the legs. As you inhale, lift up to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Now root down through the soles of the feet and then start to curl the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae. The head and neck will come up last. As you inhale, begin to reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Look down towards your feet. Now bring your big toes to touch, bring your heels slightly apart. Begin to sweep the arms up towards the sky and then sink the hips down, bend the knees, sink into your chair pose. Yeah, and if it's uncomfortable for you to keep your arms reaching up towards the ceiling, maybe find cactus arms and focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together. Have a peek down at your feet and just notice if you can see your toes. You want to make sure you can see your toes past your knees. From here, draw the hands to heart center. From here, gently begin to rock back onto the heels. Lift the toes up off of your mat. So really spread them wide. And then rock back onto the toes. Lift the heels for your toe stand. And just move through that back and forth, shifting your weight into the heels, spreading the toes, coming into your toe stand. We'll do one more just like that. Keep breathing. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms down, step back to your high plank. And you have the option here if you want to keep the knees down onto your mat. If you're staying with your high plank or if you're in your modified variation, exhale, lower down in that straight line, resisting the way down. Come all the way onto the belly here. Bring your arms alongside the body. Yeah, palms to face up. Now start to press the toes, big toes to touch. Engage the inner thighs. Engage the glutes. And then start to peel your chest, fly the arms, and fly the legs at the same time. Yeah, really engaging that whole back chain of the body here. Now, I want you to pay attention to this. I want you to bring a slight bend into the knees, and I want you to think of pointing your toes up towards the ceiling. Notice how that engages the hamstrings a little bit more. Stay here for one more breath in. Exhale, lower down. Nice work. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Push yourself back to a tabletop and then to downward facing dog. Come high onto the toes. Bend the knees. You have the option to step or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Begin to bring the big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale, sweep the arms high, sink the hips low, chair pose. Hold here. Bring your hands down to heart center. Now rock back onto your heels, spread the toes, go to your toe stand. Maybe stay here or see if you can start to lower the hips down towards the heels. How low can you go? If you're going all the way to the ground, maybe you reach for a block to support your balance, or you can bring your fingertips down to the floor. Yeah, or maybe you start to play with lifting the shoulders to stack over the hips. Can you bring your hands to heart center and find a little bit of a balance here? As you exhale, place the palms down, lift the hips up, step back to your high plank. Exhale, lower all the way onto the belly. Now for today's practice, we're going to work on our cobra pose. So for a cobra, bring your hands about mat width apart. I like to bring them to the top corners of my mat, about a foot in front of me. Start to press the tops of the feet into the mat. Engage the legs, engage the glutes. Press your pelvis into the mat and then push through the hands to start to peel your chest. As you do, start to squeeze the elbows in towards each other. Yeah. So from this cobra pose, I really want you to think about engaging the muscles for ladies, right where your bra strap would rest or your sports bra. Engage those muscles. And then press the pelvis down into the mat and then think of dragging your hands towards you. As you exhale, roll the spine down. Nice work. Now you can stay here with this back bend. If you want to find a little bit of a deeper back bend, start to walk the hands a little bit closer towards you. And same thing, inhale, press the pelvis down into the mat. Squeeze the elbows together. Make sure the shoulders are not hiking up towards the ears. Can you relax the shoulders down, depressing the shoulder blades? Exhale, roll the spine down. Option is stay here, or if you want, again, a deeper back bend, walk your hands closer to your body. One more time, inhale to lift. Exhale, lower down. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. And I like working with that back bend because I find I get the most strength out of that back bend, really focusing on different areas of my back and engaging different areas of my back. Bring the big toes to touch. With your next inhale, begin to lift the right leg up into the air, three-legged down dog. Exhale, shift your weight forward, tap your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, begin to shift your weight back, extend the right leg up into the air. Exhale, draw right knee to left elbow. And then draw your knee in towards your chest, really push the floor away from you, and then place the knee down onto the floor. Pivot the back heel down, and then start to reach the left fingertips up into the air. Now, I want you to look at your back foot here. And I really want you to think of pressing down to the outer edge of that left foot. And from here, if you want to build up this pose, again, press into the left foot, the right hand, engage the left inner thigh, and then see if you can pull your right knee in towards your chest. If you can lift it off of the mat. Yeah, so you want to lift it off of the mat and then draw it in towards the midline of the body, pulling the knee in towards the chest. And then slowly lower that knee down. Nice work. Now draw the left hand down, pivot onto the left toes, and then kick your right leg back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, shift your weight forward, knee to nose, and then step your right foot between the palms. Come down on the back knee, untuck the toes. From here, inhale, begin to reach up for your modified lunge. Exhale, lower your hands down to heart center. Begin to rotate to the right side of your mat, finding a bit of a twist. Now open up the arms in line with the shoulders. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together, twisting from the midline of the body. And then begin to sweep that right arm back and down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down to your mat. Now for this next part, you might need your block or your prop. So Chad is just going to demonstrate with 2 blocks. I only have 1, and 1 will suffice if you don't have 2. So begin to shift your weight back, straightening through your front leg. And just walk your hands back, walk your blocks back, coming into a half splits. You can adjust the height of your prop to make this pose a little bit more comfortable for you. And from here, I really want you to pay attention to your front leg. Engage the quadricep to protect the back of that leg as you find a little bit more length, a little bit more stretch. And then keep your left hand down onto the mat, onto the block, and then start to open up to the right side of your mat. Maybe your right fingertips will start to reach up towards the ceiling, finding this little revolved half splits. Now to help with balance for this next part, if you want to explore, tuck the back toes under, and then start to come light onto the left fingertips. Maybe you start to lift off, bringing your shoulders to stack over the hips. It's a really fine balance point here. Again, keep squeezing the thighs together, engage that core, and then exhale, lower that left hand down. Draw the right hand down to your mat, ripple forward to come back into your lunge. Plant both hands down onto your mat, just removing the blocks out of the way. And then kick the sole of the right foot to the back of the room. So you want to extend that leg, keep it hovering in line with the hip. A nice straight line from the crown of the head to the heel of the foot. And then start to stack right hip on top of the left. Come light onto the right fingertips. start to reach your right fingertips up into the air. This is your modified half moon. You have the option to stay here or bring a bend into that top leg, reaching for the inside arch of your foot. Making sure you have an external rotation into that top arm to reach back for the inner arch, to find a nice opening across the chest as you start to push the top of that foot into the hand. And then release. Drop the right hand down, right toes down, come back to your high plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll do that on the other side. As you inhale, begin to extend the left leg up into the air. Exhale, shift your weight forward. Tap your left elbow to your left knee. Inhale, shoot it back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Track that knee to the center of the chest. Really hug it in nice and close. And then drop that knee down towards the floor. Pivot the back heel down. Lift the right fingertips up towards the sky. From here, again, pay attention to that back foot. Think of pressing the outer edge of that right foot into the mat. Press through the left hand. Engage the inner thigh. Maybe you start to lift that left knee off of your mat. Maybe you start to track that left knee towards the midline of the body and then squeeze it in towards the chest. From here, plant the right palm down, right toes, and then inhale, lift the left foot up towards the ceiling. Exhale, shift your weight forward, step through the palms. Inhale for your modified lunge. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Begin to rotate towards the left. Finding an active twist here. Squeeze that front thigh in towards you. And then extend the arms. Right fingertips reach forward, left fingertips reach back. Begin to sweep that back arm back and down. Inhale for your low lunge. Exhale, hands down to your mat. And again, you might need your blocks for this next part. Begin to shift your weight back, straighten through your front leg. Walk your hands back as much as you need. And again, keep that left quadricep really engaged here. Keep the foot active, toes flexing towards your face. And then press into the right palm. And then start to rotate towards the left. Maybe reaching the left fingertips up towards the sky. Squeeze that low belly in. From here, if you want to play with that little lift, that little hybrid asana, start to come light onto the fingertips. And then start to fly the right fingertips to come in line with the shoulder, stacking the shoulders over the hips. And then exhale, lower that right hand down, left hand down. Shift your weight forward, coming into your lunge. Removing your props off to the side. Press into the palms, kick out through the sole of the left foot. Extend it long behind you. From here, start to stack left hip over top of the right, and then fly the left fingertips up towards the sky. From here, think of engaging that outer hip to keep your leg lifted. kicking out through the heel of that back foot. And then bring a bend into your knee. And then with that top arm, externally rotate and reach for that inner arch of your foot. And then start to kick your foot into your hand. You'll find a nice stretch into the front of that quadricep as well as across the chest. Nice work. And then from here, just allow that to release. And then plant the left toes down, left hand down. Come into your high plank or your modified plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for your baby cobra or your full cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Bring the big toes to touch. As you inhale, begin to sweep the right leg up into the air. Exhale, shift your weight forward, tap right knee to right elbow. Inhale, kick it back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Hug your right knee in towards the chest. Pivot the back heel down. You have the option to drop that right leg down to the floor or keep it lifted. From here, left fingertips reach up towards the sky. Exhale, left hand down, pivot onto the left toes, kick your right leg back, three-legged down dog. Shift your weight forward, draw your right knee in towards your chest, and then step your foot in between the palms. From here, bring the back heel down. And just have a look at your feet. You want about heel to heel alignment, or you can walk heel toe that front foot out slightly to give a little bit more space in between the legs. Whatever feels a little bit more comfortable for you. As you inhale, begin to reach up, sweep the arms up for your warrior one. So your hips and shoulders stay relatively square to the top of the mat, keeping a bend in your front leg. As you exhale, begin to hover the chest off of the thigh, reaching the crown of the head forward, and then sweep the arms alongside the body. Inhale, reach up towards the sky, extend the front leg, so straighten through your front leg. Now begin to twist to the right, reaching left fingertips forward, right fingertips back. Begin to sweep that right arm back and down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Now I want you to reach for your blocks. You're going to place your block in front of your right foot and then off to the side so it comes into a nice diagonal to the pinky toe edge of that foot. Bring your hands to heart center. Shift your weight into your right foot. Transfer all your weight into that right leg. Come light on the left toes. Start to fly the left leg behind you, at the same time hinging forward with the chest. Yeah, for your warrior three. And for this pose, you can keep a little bend into the knees if that helps with your balance. Also, if you're not very quote unquote flexible to the backs of the legs, or you can keep it straight. And as much as you start to hinge forward, you want that back leg to keep in line with the spine so everything lifts together. From here, drop your right fingertips down to your block. Bring your left hand onto your hip. Start to stack your left hip over top of the right. Kick out through the heel of that top leg. Start to fly the left fingertips up towards the sky, half moon. From here, coming into a forward fold, step your left foot beside the right, big toes to touch, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit the hips low as you sweep the arms up, chair pose. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Rock your weight back, shift your weight onto the toes, toe stand. Lower the hips all the way down to the heels. Again, if you need your blocks, bring them underneath your hands or come onto your fingertips. From here, open up the knees, walk your hands to the inside of the legs. Again, we're keeping high onto the heels here. Now start to walk your hands forward with your blocks or without. And begin to sink the chest low, feeling a nice stretch in the inner thighs and through the toes. You can tent the palms and then sink your chest low if that feels nice. And then start to walk your hands back underneath the shoulders. Start to sit down on your sits bones. And then bring your hands to the backs of the thighs. Rock back, down the spine, and back up to your low toe stand. So you can do that as many times as you need. You can use momentum to get back to your low toe stand, or you can use your hands to help you up. You can play with that as much as you want. And from here, again, keeping the knees open, can you start to find a little bit more of a balance? Start to reach the fingertips up towards the sky. Yeah. And then exhale, hands down to the mat. Reach the hips up. Step back to your high plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take this time to breathe here. Come back to your breath. Take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale, part your lips and let it go. And we'll move to the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up into the air. Exhale, shift your weight forward, left knee to left elbow. Kick your leg back, three-legged down dog. Shift your weight forward, left knee to right elbow. This time, pivot the right heel down. Squeeze the left leg in towards you. Reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, right hand down. Pivot onto the toes. Kick the left foot back into the air. Exhale, shift your weight forward. Step your left foot between the palms. Now pivot the back heel down, setting up your stance for your warrior one. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, shift your weight forward, crown of the head reaching forward. Reach the arms back behind you. Inhale to lift as you straighten the leg. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Begin to twist towards the left. Reach right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. Sweep that back arm towards the floor and then up towards the ceiling. Square your chest to the top of your mat. Hands down to heart center. Reach down for your block. Place it diagonally away from that front foot. Begin to shift your weight into the left foot. Come light onto the back toes. Once you have the majority of your weight into that left leg, start to fly the right leg behind you. Yeah, keeping a nice straight line from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. And then from here, start to reach the left hand down towards for your block. That right hand can come on top of the hip. And then start to roll open, stacking your right hip over your left. From here, you can reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. And then step that right foot beside the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, sweep the arms high, chair pose. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Rock your weight back, shift your weight forward, toe stand. Begin to slowly lower the bum down towards the heels. Nice work. And then open up the knees. Place the hands onto the floor. Start to walk your hands out. And again, tenting the palms if it feels good for you. Sinking the chest low. Stay here for 2 breaths. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards you. And sit your bum all the way down onto your mat. Bring the hands to the backs of the thighs. Rock up the spine. And then rock back and forth, and eventually kicking back up to that seated position, your low toe stand. Yeah, and see if you can come up, knees apart, fingertips reaching up towards the sky. Nice work. Hands down onto the mat. Lift the hips up, step back, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now bring your big toes to touch. On your next inhale, begin to lift the right leg up into the air. 3-legged down dog. As you shift your weight forward, tap your right knee to right elbow. Inhale, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Pivot the back heel down. Lift the left fingertips up towards the sky for this little side plank variation. Drop the left hand down, pivot onto the left toes. Right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, shift your weight forward. Step your right foot between the palms. Now bring your back heel down, setting up for your warrior 1. Inhale, rise up, keeping a bend in your front knee. Exhale, runner's lunge, shift your weight forward, sweep the arms back. Inhale, rise up, straighten through your front leg. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Now reach for your block and place your block to the inside of the right foot. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, left hand forward, right fingertips back as you twist to the right edge of your mat. And then slowly start to lower down, reaching the left fingertips, the left hand down towards your block. In this pose, try and think of pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale to start to lift shoulders over hips. Sweep that right arm forward. Exhale, hands down to your heart. If you need to, move your block for your half moon. Start to shift your weight forward into your right foot. Kick off through the back toes, warrior 3. Now from here, your hands can stay to heart center. Maybe you start to fly the arms alongside the body for your airplane variation.
Lower that right hand down onto the block. Start to open up that left hip. And then reach the left fingertips up towards the sky. You have the option to stay here or find your candy cane variation, bringing a bend into the left leg, reaching for the inside arch of the foot. Same thing we found on the ground, kicking the top of the foot into the hand. Slowly begin to release. Now step your left foot down to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bring the big toes to touch, sweep the arms up, chair pose. Hands down to heart center. Rock your weight back. Spread the toes, come high onto the toes. Lift the heels. Slowly start to lower your bum down. Open up the knees, place the hands down onto your mat. From here, start to rock back. You're gonna rock and roll up and down your mat as much as you like, as much as you need. We're gonna come right back to this position. So have fun, play with it. Start to rock back, using momentum. Start to kick up. See if you can come back to that low toe stand, reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. And then place your hands down underneath the shoulders. Lift the hips up into the air. We're gonna play with our crow pose. I personally like my toes to touch together in my crow, or you can walk your feet out to about hip distance apart, whatever is a little bit more comfortable for you. Now lifting the hips up high, start to bring your knees into your armpits or really high up onto the triceps. Yeah, now start to bring a bend into the elbows, squeeze the elbows together as you shift your weight forward. Yeah, and just feel how that feels, shifting your weight into the hands, making sure your gaze is looking forward and not down at your hands, or else you're gonna tumble forward. Yeah, maybe you start to lift one leg. Yeah. And then placing that down, maybe you play with lifting the other leg. Nice. And then if you feel really confident, maybe you shift your weight into the hands completely, where you can lift both feet off of your mat. And if you're a seasoned yogi and you know that you can straighten the arms in this pose, you can also play with that variation as well. And when you're ready, you can step back to high plank or jump back to your high plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. Bring your big toes to touch. On your inhale, lift the left leg up into the air. Exhale, shift your weight forward, tap your left knee to your left elbow. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, bring your left knee to your right elbow. This time, drop the back heel down, pulling that left knee in towards the chest, extend the right arm up towards the sky. Drop the right hand down, pivot onto the right toes, left leg up into the air, 3-legged down dog. Shift your weight forward, step your left foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down, setting up for your warrior 1. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, runner's lunge, sweep the arms back. Inhale, lift up, straighten through your front leg. Hands down to heart center. Reach down for your block, place it to the inside of your front foot. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Right fingertips reach forward, left fingertips reach back. Finding your revolved pyramid pose, start to lower down, reaching the right fingertips down towards your prop. Allow your gaze to look up towards your hand. Inhale, stack shoulders over hips as you rise. Sweep left arm forward and down. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Move the block, prepping for your half moon. Begin to shift your weight forward, coming into your warrior three. Fly the right leg behind you. With every lift in the leg, hinges the chest forward, playing with whatever arm variation that you like in this pose. And then place the left fingertips down onto your block. Start to stack the right hip over the left. Start to straighten that the right arm up towards the sky. Bring a bend into the right leg. For your candy cane variation, you can reach for the inside arch of that foot. From here, kick the top foot into the hand, feeling a stretch across the chest. And then slowly begin to release, coming into your forward fold. Step that right foot beside the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Begin to sweep the arms, sit the hips down, chair pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Rock your weight back, spread the toes wide, and then come on to the toes, lift the heels, lower your bum all the way down, low toe stand. Open up the knees. From here, sit the bum down, rock back. Using momentum, kick back to your low toe stand, reach up, play with it, and then bring your hands down right underneath the shoulders. And then from here, lift the hips high, adjust the feet whichever way you need for your crow pose. So again, from here, begin to shift your weight forward, drawing the knees into the triceps, into the armpits, squeezing the elbows in together. When you're playing with your crow pose, if you notice that the elbows like to splay apart, then bring your knees to wrap around the elbows. This will help the elbows from splaying away from each other. And you want to think of pressing the knees into the outer elbows and then pressing the outer elbows into the knees. And then as you shift your weight forward into the hands, maybe you can play with lifting one leg, maybe lifting the other, or maybe lifting both. You choose your own adventure here. And then option to step or hop back to your high plank. Move through your flow. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to go through that flow one more time. This time really flowing with it, really finding your breath for every movement. And we'll begin by bringing the big toes to touch. As you inhale, lift the right leg up into the air. Exhale, shift your weight forward, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift back. Exhale, draw right knee to left elbow. Pivot the back heel down, open up for your side plank variation. Drop the left hand down, pivot onto the left toes, right leg reaches back. Exhale, shift your weight forward, step between the palms. Drop the back heel down, setting up for your warrior one. Inhale to lift. Exhale, runner's lunge, sweep the arms back. Inhale to rise, straighten the front leg. Begin to twist towards the right, left fingertips forward, right fingertips back. Start to lower down, option to reach down for your block, or you can reach for the outer edge of your right shin. Inhale to lift up. Sweep that right arm forward, back up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Shift your weight into your right foot. Set up your block if you need. Push into your warrior three. Any variation that you choose. Right fingertips down onto your prop. Roll that left hip open, half moon. Left fingertips reach up. Option to stay here or find your candy cane. I like to look down at the floor. This helps with my balance as I kick my foot into my hand. And then begin to step that left foot to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit the hips low, chair pose. Hands to heart center. Rock back, spread the toes, lift the heels. Sit all the way down to the bum. Open up the knees as wide as your mat. Play with that rock and roll to kick back up to this position. Ready? We'll come to me here. Option to play with your crow pose, placing the hands underneath the shoulders. Draw the hips up, bringing the knees in towards the arms, the armpits, the triceps. Shift your weight forward. Maybe you find some lift. Option to shoot back or step back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side right away. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Shift your weight forward, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Pivot the back heel down. Hug your knee in towards your chest. Right arm reaches up. Right hand down, pivot onto the left toes. Left leg reaches into the air. Shift your weight forward, step between the palms. Bring the back heel down. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, runner's lunge, sweep back. Inhale, rise up as you straighten the leg. Begin to twist to the left, right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. Start to lower down, revolve pyramid, reaching for your prop or the outside of your shin. Inhale to lift up. Sweep that left arm back up towards the ceiling. Square your chest to the top of the mat. Hands down to heart center. Begin to shift your weight forward. Again, reaching for the prop if you need it in your half moon. Start to find your warrior three. Start to bring the left hand down. Stack the right hip over the left. Half moon. Option for that candy cane variation. Reaching back for the foot. Now, step your right foot beside the left. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips low, chair pose. Bring your hands down through heart center. Rock your weight back, spread the toes, lift the heels. Lower all the way down to the heels. Open up the knees. Now have a little fun, play a little bit. Start to rock back and kick back into your low toe stand. Nice job. Hands underneath the shoulders. Crow pose, last one. Now kick back, high plank, or step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Come high onto the toes. Float your knees down towards your mat. And sit your bum down, find a child's pose. You can keep the knees together or walk the knees about mat width apart. And just rest your forehead down onto your mat. Allow the arms to be soft. And really tapping back into your breath. Notice how your breath has changed. Can you start to lengthen every inhale, every exhale? Start to slow the breath down. Slow your heart rate down. Reach the arms forward. Pull forward, coming into a tabletop position. Extend the right leg behind you. Kick the sole of the foot to the back of the room. Now from here, keeping the belly hugging in, nice long line from the crown of the head all the way to the heel of the foot. Start to extend the left fingertips towards the front of the room. Yeah, now from here, bring a bend into the right leg. Sweep that left arm back behind you. Option to reach for the foot. If you can't quite reach for the foot, maybe you keep actively pulling your hand and your foot towards each other. Yeah. And then slowly begin to extend left arm, right leg to the top and bottom edge of our mat. And then place the left hand down. Sweep that right leg out to the side. Place the foot down. And then from here, start to lift the right fingertips up. Finding a little bit of a thread the needle variation here, but we're not going to stay with the pose. So inhale, lift the right fingertips up, and then exhale, thread your right hand in between the left palm and the left knee. Inhale to reach up. Allow your gaze to look up. Exhale. Thread it through. Inhale to lift. Last one. Exhale, thread. Inhale to lift up. And then place your right hand down onto the mat. Now start to walk your hands forward, keeping your hips over top of the knees. You don't want the hips to come forward. And then from here, finding this hybrid asana of a puppy pose, start to sink the chest down. Now, if this is a little bit uncomfortable for you to sink the chest, you can also bring a pillow or a block or whatever prop you have to come underneath the chest to feel a little bit more supported in the pose. Start to walk your hands back towards you, bringing your hands underneath the shoulders. Now start to walk your hands forward at the same time, bringing your body with you, lowering all the way onto the belly. Bring a bend into the right knee, coming into our half frog variation. So you're going to come to lower all the way onto the belly, onto the chest, bending the knee so you have this nice 90-degree angle in the leg. Yeah. And we're going to play with some internal and external rotation. in through this leg. So I want you to stack the palms one on top of the other just to rest your forehead down. You can also rest your forehead onto a pillow or onto a block if that's more comfortable for you. Now I want you to take your right hand and I want you to make a fist. And you're going to bring it, feel for your right hip. I want you to really feel for that hip bone. And I want you to place that fist there. And now I want you to play with actively pushing that hip down into your fist. Keeping that connection, I want you to press your knee into the mat and then see if you can lift the right foot off to hover. Yeah. And just notice if your hip starts lifting away from that fist that you made, can you again reestablish that connection and slowly lower that foot down. And we'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, again, reestablish that connection, hip bone to fist, push your hip into the floor as much as you can. Push your knee into the floor and then lift the foot up. Yeah, you'll start to feel the outer hip engage a lot. And then exhale, lower down. And we'll do 1 more just like that. And once you finish your last round, just remove your right hand from out of your hip crease there. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Sweep that right leg back to meet the left, and then push yourself back to a tabletop position. Now we'll move to the other side. So start to extend the left leg behind you. Yeah, try not to lift the left leg as high as you can. We don't want to back bend into this pose just yet. Now start to reach your right fingertips forward. Yeah, a nice long line of energy from the right fingertips all the way down to the left toes. Hugging everything into the midline. And then bend the left knee, the inside arch of that foot. Kick the top of the foot into your hand. And begin to release, sweeping the right arm forward, left toes back. Drop the right hand down, and then sweep that left leg off to the side. Plant the sole of the foot down onto the mat. From here, we'll find that little thread the needle variation. Inhale, lift the left fingertips up into the air. Exhale, thread it through your right palm and your right knee. Inhale to lift. Open up to the left side of your mat. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, place the left hand down. We're going to find that little hybrid asana again. So again, walking the hands forward slightly, keeping the hips stacked over the knees. Again, using any kind of props if you want to rest your chest down. And then start to sink your chest down towards the floor. Last breath here. Now start to walk your hands back underneath the shoulders. Now start to walk your hands towards the top of your mat at the same time, leaning forward, starting to lower the body down, belly, then chest, and then bring a bend into your left leg. So you want to find this half frog variation on the left side. So your knee is in line with the hip, and then ankle in line with the knee. You can stack your palms one on top of the other just to rest your forehead down. But we're going to use our left hand. So you want to take that hand out, make a fist, and then find your hip bones And then place your fist right at that hip bone. And I want you to have a moment here just to play with what it feels like to roll your pelvis forward, rolling that left hip into your fist. And just notice if that changes the stretch in any way for you, if that changes the position in any way. Now we're going to find our internal rotation, again keeping that connection from our hip bone to our hand. So start to press your hip bone into your fist. Press your knee into the mat. And then see if you can lift your foot off of your mat, tracking your foot up and towards the front of your mat, depending on how high it can lift. Yeah, and then exhale, lower down. We'll do that two more times. So again, establish that connection, hip to your fist. Press your knee. Feel that outer thigh, the glutes engaged to keep that internal rotation. We don't spend much time here, so it might feel a little bit crampy. And then exhale, lower down. And we'll do one more just like that. Once you finish your last round, just remove the left hand from out of your hip. Place your hands underneath the shoulders, and then slide that left leg back to meet the right. Push yourself up into a tabletop position. Then sit your hips back onto the heels, sit onto your bum, and then sweep the legs forward. We're going to come onto our backs, so however you want to get there. Just making sure you're sitting up at the top of your mat. Just start to curl the spine down. Keeping the soles of the feet flat on your mat. Keeping a bend into the knees. Just finding some windshield wiper motions. Lowering your knees down to one side and then the other. Just rolling across the low back. Finish evening out your sides. Then hug the knees in towards the chest. Wrap your arms around your shins or to the backs of the thighs. Just give yourself one last hug before settling into your final Savasana. And from here, you can take any intuitive movements that might feel good for your body to finish off your practice. When you feel ready to do so, coming into your Savasana, again, you can remain on your back. Whatever leg or arm variation that you choose, you can also come up to a seat or a child's pose. And just spend the next few moments really sinking back into your mat, feeling every muscle in the body start to release and let go. Take a big inhale through the nose. Part your lips and let it go. I invite you to stay here as long as you like, as long as you need. And I will end our practice here today. Thank you everyone for joining us. May the light in me honor and cherish the light that is in you. Namaste. See you soon, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hope you guys had a great practice.
How was your practice? How was the video quality? Because on our end...
Oh, thank you, Linda.
Nice. Very nice. You guys are the greatest. Yeah, how was the video quality and everything? Because on our end, when we would put it to full screen, it was like a little bit blurry, a little bit grainy. So curious as to how it was for you guys. Try to pull up the chat here.
Yeah.
Any feedback? Let us know in the chat. My computer's working hard.
You think it's...
I think it's just I don't have many gigabytes of RAM to process this. Great one. Bobby says great one. Meh on video quality. Chris says yeah. Linda said yeah. We figured that. We tried to use a different camera. So I think we're going to go back to Chris's phone camera instead of using the webcam. Video was okay, low quality, but worked. Audio cut out a few times.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, so I think we're going to try to... We're experimenting with a different camera. We're trying to use a webcam. The webcam that we're using currently. But I think we're going to go back...
Yeah, I think we're going to go back to using my phone. Just because I think the quality was a little bit better. It's a little bit weirder to film with, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I didn't have any problem with quality. Could easily make out the moves.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Zach.
Zach, good to see you, buddy.
We'll also leave the donation link as well in the chat. Again, no obligation.
But always appreciated.
Yes. We understand these are kind of tough times for a lot of us right now.
Yeah. And even if, your donation or helping us out is just to, share, subscribe, and spread the word about the channel, like that's great too. It all helps. And the more the merrier, right? So, okay.
Oh, okay.
Good feedback. Thanks, guys. This is great. Any kind of feedback like this,
thanks, Chris.
we appreciate it. So yeah, love the class. Keep up the great work. I'll see you next class. Okay, see you, Bobby. Have a good one, brother. Let's talk about Crow. What do you want to talk about, Linda?
Did you get it? Did you get it?
Let's talk about Crow. Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Wicked.
Perfect.
Good. Yeah, that all helps. Perfect. So I think we'll go back to using Chris's phone camera for the next video because our other classes were great in terms of video quality using hers. So I think we'll just go back to that and try to set up the frame a little better, maybe better lighting and whatever we can do to make it a little less grainy. Thanks, Flavio. Aloha to you as well, my brother.
Oh, awesome.
Nice, yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So thanks for coming out. Thanks for practicing with us and joining in on the stream. If you guys have any questions about little things that you can do. Oh, Natalie did make it. Nat, good to see you. No issues with audio. Perfect. Except maybe the traffic driving by every once in a while, eh? We had a couple race car drivers out there, it sounded like.
Awesome. Thanks, Linda.
Yeah, so anyways, thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for practicing, and thanks for taking the time. It means the world to us. You're welcome. You are most welcome.
I'm not a sister.
I think he's referring to you as sister, the way that I would refer to them as brother. Yeah, if we were brother and
You
sister.
know what,
that'd be it.
Emily? I was actually looking into getting a GoPro.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, sure. Hey, that'd be awesome.
Because
we can try it out.
they have the wide angle lens, so like even in smaller spaces, then it's still like you can get the full shot in. But yeah, I was looking into getting one of those.
Great idea. Awesome. That would be much appreciated. Yeah, and it would probably help with our editing as well. See, the reason why we tried a different camera this time around is because Chris's phone, when we filmed the whole class, it's it splits it up into 33-minute segments. So it makes it a little bit trickier to like edit everything together. So yeah, we would love to try your GoPro M. That'd be awesome. Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're home all the time now, so anytime you want to pop by and we can discuss it, that would be awesome.
Sweet.
Whoops, wrong one. So yeah, great. Okay, thanks guys. We'll cut it off there. Not going to keep you too much longer. But yeah, thank you again so much for practicing.
Thanks
And,
everyone for coming.
Yeah, and have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, we'll chat for sure, Emily. Absolutely. Have a wonderful long weekend. Happy Good Friday and happy Easter weekend to all of you and your families. Don't be afraid to go visit your families, please. You know, it's okay to give them hugs still. No worries. And yeah, peace and blessings, everyone. As always, high fives and good vibes. Take care.
See you guys soon.
Peace.